Scary jaw-dropping ghost videos you need to watch. The Barton Haunting. 1 hour east of Los Angeles lies the infamous Redlands Barton Mansion, known for being one of the most active locations for paranormal activity in all of California. The once beautiful Victorian-influenced home was built by Dr. Benjamin Barton back in 1866. Because of the area and lack of forestry, the home for the most part was actually built with clay bricks. Paranormal historians have argued that this is most probably Dr. Barton's first and biggest mistake when building the house. You see, the clay that was used to build the Victorian home came directly from a nearby Native American burial ground. Between that, his wife dying, and then ultimately using black magic and rituals to attempt to contact his dead wife, the activity within the home only ramped up from there. In September of 2001, a group of 3 young adults took a video camera up to the house in the middle of the night. As they enter the house, they whisper back and forward with each other about what they think could be in there. Now, because this was all recorded in 2001, we of course have some really bad quality resolution. However, we still get to see a decent glimpse at whatever this is. After seeing something strange on the floor to the left, the cameraman then hears a noise coming from the right. He pans across to see what it is and sees what appears to be a terrifyingly tall apparition with demonic features. Aside from the teenagers seeing this, nearby residents have reported seeing hooded figures mysteriously entering and leaving the mansion. This is probably one house you don't want to visit on Halloween. Forest figure. The following video is from a well-known Czech Republic YouTube channel called TV Twix. The channel consists of 3 young men who often make videos in the experimental and prank niche. In this particular video of theirs, for some reason they decided to explore a haunted forest known in their country for suicides and many other creepy things. To feel safe out in the woods, they went in a group of half a dozen or so. However, the video is not in English, although we can get the gist of what they're up to. The video starts with a young man explaining the history of the forest and looking at ghostly photographs from the forest that people have taken in the past. They then go on to doing a spirit box session, but they don't manage to capture anything special. It's not until they're almost wrapping up the video when one of the young men notices something out of the corner of his eyes. Take a look.
Mrazivých hodnot, fakt šlo to hned na -5 a šlo to čím dál tím dál, že jo, měli podobný přístroj s tím, že ten duch, který se pak na ně nalepil, byl zlej, nebyl to jeden z těch dobrých, takže pak jakoby bylo to dost fatální, s tím, že myslím, že jeden ten kluk se dokonce kvůli tomu zabil a...
Kámo, já jsem to taky slyšel.
Co tam bylo?
Ty víš, kámo.
After the first guy turns around and makes it known to the others what he's just seen, the rest of the group turn around and just manage to capture some sort of shadow person walking across the dirt path and back into the woods. After getting a decent scare from this, they talk about it for a couple minutes and then end the video there. Perhaps the young group of men caught something truly paranormal that night on camera. You be the judge. Ghosty Boys. This quick little clip was recorded by a channel named Ghosty Boys. A small channel with only a handful of videos uploaded this supposed ghost video over 2 years ago. The 2 young men were in San Antonio back in 2006 when they recorded the following clip.
Give my jacket a quick tug. If anyone's here, could you please state your name? Now we're just using my phone because the other
that was weird. I think.
What?
I think I panned over here and it looked like,
At first, you might shrug this off as being a simple bit of mist or breath from the two men. However, many people seem to agree otherwise. Both the colour and the way in which it moves and then dissipates looks somewhat unnatural to most people who have viewed the video. I wasn't going to include this into the video, but, well, to be honest, I was just running short of time. What do you think of the clip? Could it be real, or just another fake? Let me know in the comments down below. Female Jinn. Urban and paranormal explorer Hassan Baba is a somewhat popular YouTuber from Jordan. He is known in and around his country for his scary portrait-styled videos that he records for Facebook and Snapchat, and has caught many weird and mysterious things on camera over the last 2 years. This video in particular shows himself exploring the grounds of an old abandoned building. Hassan is talking Arabic throughout the entirety of the video, however, I'm going to assume that just like previous videos, he's exploring these grounds after stories he's been told. Not long after he starts recording, he unknowingly catches something on camera. Obviously unaware of what looks to be a hand slipping away into the darkness, Hassan continues to explore through the grounds.
ايش الوحدة هاي اللي تطلع هون بالليل ما بعرف شو هي بس جد يا اخوان مكان كثير خوف بسم الله الرحمن أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Again, Hassan misses something that appears to be watching him from above. Whatever it was only in frame for a second or so. It takes almost another 10 minutes of exploring the grounds of this abandoned building for Hassan to finally notice this thing watching him. This time, it's scarier.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في صوت طلع يا إخوان.
After witnessing such an apparition, he decided to go back to the car and talk to the camera about what I can only assume he's just seen. However, as he's talking to his viewers through the phone, this happens.
شكرا لكل واحد طمن علي وشكرا لكل واحد دعمني وجد بشكركم من كل قلبي وشكرا لكم كلكم والله جد يعني إن وقفتكم معي كانت عبارة عن.
So, did Hassan capture a so-called jinn on camera multiple times that night, or was it all just staged by him and a couple of friends? You be the judge of that. Keeping an eye out. In the past decade or so, baby monitors have become almost a necessity for parents wanting to keep an eye out on their precious newborn while they sleep. But over the years, people have caught more on camera than they first thought they would when setting up one of these monitors. The following video is a quick one. It shows what I think the original uploader and their viewers think could be some sort of supposed witch or unknown woman peeking in, looking at their newborn while it sleeps. What appears to be a very creepy woman stares at the baby from in between the gaps of the cots. A few people who have seen this video refuse to think it's anyone else but the mother. However, rumor has it that both parents were the only ones in the house and they didn't see this until later in the day. But who really knows what was going on here? Mausoleum Shadow. If you didn't already know, Frank Mendez is a somewhat popular paranormal explorer who finds the most amazing places to adventure in the darkness. In most of his videos, you'll catch Frank strolling through old graveyards in the early hours of the morning with nothing more than a couple of cameras and a flashlight. All of the places he explores are either public places open 24/7 or he has permission from local police departments. For this reason, his viewers love his videos, so much so that lately one of his Patreon supporters sent him a thermal camera for Frank to use in future videos. Well, in this latest video of Frank's, he decided to take along this new thermal camera of his to see if he could catch anything on camera.
It sounds like somebody said Michael. You've got to be kidding me. It sounds like they're saying Marco.
Upon returning to the cemetery he had previously visited, nothing really seemed out of the ordinary apart from a few voices in the far distance. At first, Frank believed the voices could have been a spirit, but later agreed with himself that it was probably just a person calling out for their dog. Soon after moving on, he takes out his thermal camera and points it towards a burial or above ground graves. He is surprised when he sees this.
I'm now making my way to where the 3 creepy crosses are. Now the first thing I'm going to want to do is, I do have the thermal camera on my back here, so let me get the thermal camera out and see what I can capture here. Sorry it's taking me a minute, but I'm already getting something weird in the center there. That is super trippy. That I think is the most creepiest. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? It's moving. Because now that I'm looking at it, it's super cold. Alright, so if you look from all this over here, it's all completely warm. And right here, it's actually bluish. And this is actually what's weird, is that this is the area in which I actually seen something here.
Frank decides to move on to a mausoleum where he had previously filmed and where the viewers had once noticed something moving in the background. At first, he points the camera towards the mausoleum door and sees nothing. He then gets out his EMF meter and picks up some interference, which definitely surprises him. Happy with the result, Frank gets out the old thermal camera again and points it towards the same mausoleum door. This time, however, he realizes that he's being watched by something.
I want to see how it looks like from your guys' perspective. In fact, I'm actually turning off the light. What the hell? Holy shit. That is freaking terrifying. There is a dark mass right next to the door. It almost looks like something's peeking out at me.
Absolutely shocked by getting this on camera, Frank moves closer for a better look. But then the so-called apparition just slowly disappears.
What the hell? What the hell? It just disappeared.
Not only Frank, but a lot of his viewers believe that the same shadow figure seen in a previous video by the burial or above ground graves could be responsible for this night's anomalies, including both the figure-shaped cold spot by the wall of graves and the shadow-looking person peeking out from the mausoleum glass door. Frank continues to deliver on some of the best paranormal content on the internet. To watch the full 26-minute video, check out his channel, Franco TV. Airport Antics. Airports can be very busy places, and they often have tens of thousands of people traveling through them in any one day. So, when a Spanish man started hearing noises coming from a woman's toilets from within the airport in the early hours of the morning, he didn't think too much of it. That was until he started to hear the faucet turning on and off repeatedly. Before venturing into the public restroom, however, the man started recording on his phone. This is what he captured.
Bueno, voy para adentro. La sangre de Cristo me cura. Hola, hola. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
What he first thought may be a disgruntled passenger quickly turns into something he and his followers think quite possibly could be paranormal related. Not only does the water turn off and on a bunch of times by itself, but one of the cubicle doors appears to slam shut on its own. So, did this unknown Spanish man stumble across something paranormal within an airport, or is it simply just another one of those fake TikTok videos? You decide. Abandoned Cinema. Lalo Escalante is a YouTube channel from Mexico. It's made up of a group of 3 men who go out exploring late at night or in the early hours of the morning on a regular basis, hoping to capture anything paranormal on camera. The following clip is no different. This video shows the 3 young men entering and exploring a really rundown abandoned cinema building. They do a piece to camera describing what they're about to do and what they're hoping to see. After this, the guys enter the building to find that it's in a really bad state. As they're talking about this, one of them accidentally catches something very out of place on camera.
Ay, no voltees.
No.
Pues yo siento que me miran de todos lados. Vamos a callarnos un rato aquí.
The one young man holding the camera unknowingly records what appears to be a child. The shadow-like figure runs past an opening at the other end of the building, and their viewers are convinced that this is something paranormal. Of course though, this could be nothing more than just a regular child running past. But then again, it's 3 AM in the morning, and the group did say they never saw anyone else there that night. Could this be a real ghost, or could it just be a homeless person running away from the exploration group? The Curve of the Angel. In the heart of Guatemala lies a small town named Jocotenango. The place is home to approximately 20,000 people and relatively unknown to most around the world. However, in the past few years, the small town has made the rounds on the national news channels for something really quite weird and somewhat creepy. You see, for some time now, locals have, for some unknown reason, had problems with a certain road, and more specifically, a corner of a road within the small town. The particular corner has been causing all sorts of trouble for local police, as many deaths have occurred there. It's been officially named by locals as the Curve of the Angel. Some locals believe that something paranormal could occupy this corner of road, causing all types of mayhem, including car crashes, bike crashes, and electrical explosions. Not to mention, the odd shadow figure has been seen in the same area. Others think that a strong electromagnetic field is causing or pulling cars towards the outer wall of the corner. A paranormal YouTube channel from Guatemala made the visit to the infamous corner in hopes of getting some answers. The team of 2 took equipment that measured electromagnetic fields. This is what they recorded.
.8.
The 2 men recorded electromagnetic field levels almost 5 times higher than normal, which they thought was very odd and somewhat creepy. While they were there, they also tried debunking a video they'd seen weeks earlier. You see, the local police had set up a bunch of cameras in the immediate area to record all of these strange things happening, 2 of which were videos that appeared to show shadow figures walking across the street, each video from a different day. The men tried debunking these 2 videos by standing there recording traffic for hours on end, looking for patterns and shadows in an attempt to discredit these apparent shadow figure videos recorded by the police. But they had no luck. Some people have suggested that this is just one of those dangerous roads where drivers just take it too fast and cause a lot of crashes. But nearby locals seem to disagree, stating that they've seen these supposed shadow figures in and around their own house.
Doña Elizabeth La Fuente, quien por más de 20 años ha vivido en la calle Real de Jocotenango, nos compartió que tanto sus hijos como ella han sido víctimas de las siluetas humanoides.
Que mi nena trabaja de noche y ella la vez pasada que venía me comentó que antes de que ella pasara pasó una sombra y sintió un escalofrío. Incluso me llamó para que le abriera. Ajá. ¿Qué horas era? A las 2 de la mañana. Por aquí espantan, incluso en mi casa espantan. Espantan cuando están todos durmiendo y yo estoy haciendo oficio. Póngale 10 de la noche que me pongo para adelantar algo. Siento, incluso hasta he visto una...
There's so much more online about this area within the small town, but I'll leave it there for now. Let me know if you want to see more. Could this corner of road really be home to something possibly supernatural or paranormal? Or is it just a bunch of hearsay and bad drivers? You can be the judge of that. Blue Apparition. Riccarton House is a Grand Victorian or Edwardian homestead built in the late 1800s and is a historic building in Christchurch, New Zealand. The house was commissioned by Jane Deans, the widow of Canterbury pioneer John Deans. John met Jane while working on her family's Scottish farm and eventually moved to New Zealand and started a family. Only 10 months after the birth of their first son, John died of tuberculosis, leaving Jane to manage Riccarton House. Some people believe that the ghost of Jane Dean still keeps a watchful eye on this place. Her spirit is said to be spotted looking into the bassinet of the last baby born in the house. There have been more than 24 reported sightings at the house, and strange noises have been heard by staff and tradespeople. And supposedly dogs don't like to enter the house. Ghost hunters Michael Hullows, Brad Hills and Caroline Taylor started a TV show called Ghost Hunt that aired in New Zealand back in 2005. The 10-episode series showed the group of 3 travelling the length of the country exploring the supposed most haunted buildings in the country, with Riccarton House being one of them. Brad sat in the back of the team's vehicle while the other 2 were sent inside to explore. In this particular episode, a couple of spooky things happened, the first of which was when Michael walked into one of the bedrooms from the upstairs landing.
Now, Michael, you felt something when you walked into the first bedroom from the landing. I'm going to show you actually walking into the room from the outside landing.
Right.
And if you watch it, you basically do what anyone does. You open the door and in you go. And you're in there for about 30 seconds. And I've looked through all the other footage, but I don't have another shot of this, even from your helmet cam. But you were well inside at the time.
Because the whole place itself seems to be alive.
And this happens to you a lot, Michael. I can't explain it.
What?
Just watch the door there on the right. It's quite bizarre.
That is really odd.
And I would love to see another angle of it, but it didn't come up on your helmet cam. You were looking the other way at the time.
Soon after walking back into the house from being on the upstairs landing, one of the doors appears to close on its own, even though both Michael and Carolyn state that there were no winds that night. If this wasn't creepy enough for you, Caroline manages to capture something on camera without even realizing it.
You went for a wander around before you did your walk. This was in the daylight, and you were taking some photos as you were walking up into the veranda, that sort of thing. And it was a lovely shot of the house that you took, by the way. It was superb.
House and garden.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
an excellent shot. Could be a postcard.
Very beautiful.
The reason I show you that, though, is because this was the second one that you took.
Yeah, you're just looking at the whiskey going, that's a crap photo. I'm just looking at this bloody hooded
Holy hell!
thing. Yeah.
What is
Get
that?
back, what is it? What did you take? What is that?
I don't know.
You took the photo?
Well, I wouldn't have taken it if I'd seen that.
Because that's why I showed you the first one, because I was thinking, oh, it's something on the wall there that's, you know, there's a lot of movement, and but I had to go back to the previous photo to have a look, and there's nothing on the wall.
That's not an orb.
No, that's not
ain't
an
no
orb.
Perhaps this blue apparition could be Jane Dean's, the former and original owner, keeping an eye on the house. Haunted Farmhouse. This video comes to us from a YouTube channel called The New Reality Paranormal. Their videos are created by two men named Sean and Cody, a paranormal group located out of Southern California. Ultimately, their goal is to investigate the unknown and to gather evidence to prove or disprove supernatural or paranormal activity. In this fun live stream of theirs, they take a look through an abandoned farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. Sean and Cody have visited the house before, but due to popular demand by their viewers, they came back in the hopes of catching a bit more than the odd disembodied voice, which I think they may have done here.
What's going on, crew? Or no, what's up, Mikey? What was that?
Dude, did you just hear that, bro?
Was a shuffle behind you? What was that? Did you feel footsteps behind you or what?
Behind me, dude, like something ran up.
Not only Sean and Cody, but their viewers as well believe that they see some sort of manifestation happening right in front of their eyes.
Was a shuffle behind you? What was that?
Later on in the live stream, the two guys perform some sort of spirit box session where one of them wears headphones and communicates what they hear to the other. The idea behind this is to attempt to communicate with anything that may be there. What they got in response surprised even them.
Okay. Now I want to talk with Frank. Did you guys hear that? What the hell was that?
I'm in here.
Did you guys hear that? I heard something come in through the front door and he said, I'm in here. I'm getting chills behind me. What the is that?
What was that?
Whoa, whoa,
What
whoa,
was that?
whoa, 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 whoa.
What was that, dude?
Did something touch you?
Yeah.
Bro,
But I got an impression of something coming in here.
Bro, at the same time, I heard a bunch of noises and something came up behind me. And then something was coming through the front door and you could hear it. Did you just shush me? Just kidding.
Sean states that he felt something come up behind him at the same time Cody felt something as well. However, we might not just have to take their word for it, because as Sean turns the camera behind him to take a look, he just manages to catch something on camera.
I'm getting chills behind me. What the f is that?
What was that?
Whoa, whoa,
What
whoa,
was
whoa,
that?
whoa, 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 whoa.
This, of course, could just be part of the house, but as Sean turns back around a second time, just a second or two later, there's nothing there. Believe it or not, these two creepy things are just the beginning. Sean and Cody caught a lot more on camera that night, including some odd sounds, like disembodied voices and a deep growl of sorts. Very creepy indeed. The positive engagement on this video suggests, at least to me, that viewers probably believe this to be a genuine encounter with something paranormal. But who knows? I definitely recommend checking out Sean and Cody's channel for any future uploads. Their channel once again is The New Reality Paranormal. It follows. In early November of last year, I featured a TikTok user by the name of Joshua Luke. If you don't remember, basically somewhere in Mexico, a man named Luan made a TikTok account for documenting memories for his 2-year-old son, Joshua Luke. However, things turned sour when the family started to notice some very odd things happening in and around their own home. Luan's 2-year-old son, Joshua Luke, started coming to them, telling them stories of seeing a scary-looking woman in certain rooms of the family's house. Problem was, these weren't stories. Joshua turned out to be telling the truth because one day after hearing odd noises around the house, Luan, the father, nervous as you can imagine, grabbed his cell phone and recorded this.
Me siento muy nervioso, no sé qué hacer. Tocaron otra vez. Mira. Esa tira del florero. Se ve una sombra. Mira, se está moviendo esto. Pero no hay nada aquí. No hay nada aquí. De este lado se ve una sombra, se ve una sombra. No sé qué hacer, amigos. Estoy un poco nervioso, Se vio algo en la tienda. Venga, vamos a ver. Vamos a la tienda.
Now, this was recorded months ago, along with many other videos, one of which made the rounds and went viral for being very creepy. The family was essentially so scared that they would sleep all together in the one bedroom. The issue was, whatever this thing was, it didn't want them to go to sleep that night.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? No inventes, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es? Se abrió, se abrió, se abrió, se abrió, se abrió, se abrió. Espérate, cálmate, cálmate, cálmate. ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Te podemos ayudar? ¿Necesitas algo? Dinos, dinos. ¡Se asomó alguien! ¡Alúzame, alúzame, alúzame! Espera. Espérate, alúzame. No hay nada, mira, no hay nada, no hay nada.
This, once again, was months ago, and after this, the mother took the kids and left the house to stay with extended family, feeling just too scared to live at home. However, the father Luan stayed there and tried to update both his family and his TikTok viewers on a weekly basis as to how it was all going. Well, over the last couple of months, things seem to have calmed down. So the family moved back in with Luan and everything was going alright. Things seemed normal up until about a week ago.
Vamos a ver si ahorita escuchamos algo. Hoy. ¿Quieres escuchar algo? ¿Quieres escuchar? Hoy. Sí.
Se oye.
Se escucha en el techo, sí. Sí, se escucha en el techo, se escucha en el techo. Yo clarito quise escuchar aquí al ladito de la cama, pero no. Eso es en el techo. Y se oye un ruido así como un crujido. Se escucha raro. Hoy. No, ¿de qué lado será? Ya.
De acá.
Se escucha como en la pared también, como en la pared. Sí, Déjame sumo rápido. Espérame. No hay nada. No se ve nada, absolutamente nada. No hay nada en el techo. No hay nada en el techo.
Entonces, ¿qué va a hacer?
No hay nada en el techo.
Te digo, ya tenía rato desde que tú te bajaste.
Se escucha como si estuviera crujiendo algo.
Lo que cruje también el espejo, como si le estuvieran pegando.
¿Escuchaste? ¿Escuchaste eso?
Con más despacito.
Sí. Sí, se escuché.
Pero fíjate que ahora está más raro porque los perros
No están ladrando. Escuché.
Hora de lo de con tu papá.
Es que le he estado preguntando.
Oigo un susurro.
No escuché nada. Sí se escuchó leve, pero no alcancé a distinguir. Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué será?
Voy atrás de ti.
No hay nada. No escucho nada.
Luann and his wife wake up one night to hear what sounds like walking or crawling sounds on their bedroom or house roof. Luann gets his cell phone out and records this video, which, other than the odd noises on the roof, it doesn't sound all that bad. I mean, that could simply just be a cat or similar animal. However, something you may have missed was the dark black mass figure standing in their bedroom through the reflection of the mirror. Now, this wasn't his wife or partner either, as she was sitting on the bed to the right, and it's not his own shadow because it simply isn't there when he pans back just seconds later. Later that very night, the couple were awoken once again, not only to strange noises, but to the sound of dogs barking outside. Luann, being Luann, got his phone out and recorded this.
Escuchan a los perros. Están alterados. ¿Escucharon? Ese ruido es del techo. No sé qué esté pasando, pero sí me siento nervioso. Vamos a ver. No inventes. Se abrió la puerta. Se abrió la puerta como la última vez. Déjenme calmo. No hay nada. Se abrió la de abajo. Vamos a ver. No sé por qué los perros están tan alterados. Sí, abajo de la cama se escuchó algo. Se escuchó ruido, amigos, aquí abajo de la cama. Pero no hay nada. Están escuchando ruidos. Hoy, ¿cómo están los perros? Inventes, escuchan ruido. Aquí en todo alrededor. No sé qué está pasando. No sé, hoy. ¿Escuchaste?
Sí, se oye que como si alguien estuviera caminando ahí arriba.
Sí.
¿Oye la ventana?
Sí, la ventana. De este lado también se escucha. Aquí abajo, mira. Se escuchó abajo. Déjame asomo, pero no hay nada. Se escucha aquí como un crujido. No se detecta bien cómo es. Uy, otra vez. Es en esta zona. Yo no sé qué está pasando. Uy, los perros. Uy.
Now, once again, nothing appears out of the blue at first glance, but if we just take a few seconds of the clip and slow it down, we can see something that will probably give you the chills. Now, when I said you probably shouldn't watch this in the dark, I was thinking about this very video. What on earth is this? If this doesn't give you the creeps, then I don't know what will. Luann and his family have continued to be followed or haunted by this thing, entity, spirit, ghost, whatever this is, for months now. And believe it or not, I'm just scratching the surface on what they've managed to capture in their own home. Definitely one of my favorite channels so far. If you want to keep up to date with the whole Joshua Luke story, check out their TikTok page or even their YouTube channel. Links for both, of course, are down below. After midnight. One of the more popular urban explorers from Mexico has to be a young man named Eric Gunner. He's featured many times on this channel because of just how raw and spooky his videos can be. And this video is no different. It's been featured on many other paranormal type channels before, but I just wanted to go through it myself because of how creepy it is. Eric and a friend travel to an old looking school sometime after midnight. Once they arrive, they do a piece to camera and then start exploring upstairs classrooms, and it's not too long before the urban explorers unknowingly capture something odd on their camera.
A ver qué pasa. Están esos salones de allá también. Aquí de todos modos está grande todo esto. A ver, vamos a pasar ahí. Vamos acá. Todo sí que está bastante grande.
What appears to be a black-headed woman in a long flowy white dress appears downstairs in the courtyard below. She has a shadow, but for some reason doesn't seem to have any legs. Also, as Eric continues to pan across with his camera, the mysterious girl starts disappearing. He then pans back less than 5 seconds later and the woman or girl has vanished, never to be seen again. About an hour after they arrived at the school, Eric and his friend make their way downstairs where they explore a few more classrooms and what appears to be a janitor's closet. And then they enter a restroom where the two men checked the toilet cubicles one by one, but they come up with nothing. Or do they?
Vamos a ver qué hay. Okay. Nada. Más el otro. Nada. Supongo que este no servía por el bote. No, porque para jalarlo, ¿no? Vamos a ver. Cuidado, baños. No, vente. O sea, al menos por lo que se ve, ya no pasa nada de todo esto. Vamos a ver si se ve más cosas. Pasa, solo. Vamos a ver qué más hay.
What looks like a pair of bare feet slightly poke out from behind one of the cubicle doors. Perhaps these feet belong to the same woman or girl they unknowingly captured on camera just an hour earlier. A lot more happened in this video that I just didn't have time to go through, such as EVPs, a window opening and closing by itself, and a supposed child's face in a classroom window. If you want to see all of that and more, check out Eric Gunner's YouTube channel.